everyone, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you guys through my paycheck budget step by step and how I get it set up. So if you guys are interested in seeing this, then keep on watching. So I am finally home after a week of being away. I was, if you've been following me on Instagram and prior videos that I have uploaded, I was away for a week and it was due to a work trip. So I was out and I couldn't get to the bank and stuffing my cash envelope. So we are going to go ahead and walk through the last paycheck budget that I wasn't able to show you guys. So we're going to go ahead and walk step by step through this process. So I begin with the payday. So this was the first pay of October, which we got paid on the 3rd. And I had a balance that was left in my bank account. This was from some Etsy earnings that I received. So I'm not including it in this line here because I have a separate worksheet where I factor in all of my online income. So that might seem a little bit confusing to you guys. It just works well in my head. So that's why I keep the two separate. So I do have a beginning balance, and that's $159.39. Oh, and I know I get a bunch of questions on what pens I use. So the one that I'm currently using is a Parku pen. It's an erasable gel pen. So that's the pen that I'm using currently. So this is a pay from my husband. He did not get paid for one day because we were away for our anniversary, and unfortunately he's working for an agency and he doesn't get those like paid time off benefits as of right now until, you know, if he were to get hired directly through the company. So Lord willing, we will have him working full-time for the actual company. So that's why this is a little bit low from what we are used to, but that's okay. We can make it work. So we're going to go ahead and find out what the total income is. So you factor in what the beginning balance in our account is, $159.39, and you go ahead and you just add in what the paycheck is, $523.94. So that gives us a total balance, $683.33 is the total income balance. I'm really hoping that the way I have this set up, it's not causing shakiness on this video, so hopefully not. I'm gonna try not to like hit the desk too much. So now from this, I do set aside 10% of what the pay income is. So 10% of this, we're gonna put $53 for the tithe. As of right now, we're not gonna put anything towards the offering. And this is what we give to a specific ministry. So right now the total giving is $53. So now we're gonna get into the expenses portion. This is all of like the fixed expenses, those recurring items that automatically get drafted from my bank account. And I do have most of my bills on auto recurring withdrawal. So I have this form, and this is a tracker for all of my bills, and I list everything out, the due date, what the total amount is due. So this is from the ending of September and also the beginning part of October. So I do have to fill in the rest of the dates that I'm going to be receiving a paycheck for this month to factor in how much I have to withdraw for that particular bill. So in the beginning, I did not have some of these totals. So our electric bill and our water bill, we had not received the actual bill yet. So we did receive that. So I went ahead and I wrote that in, $82.40. So that is due on the 14th. So I have to find out how many paychecks I have left to pay the bill. So this is going to be due right before I get paid next, because my payday is on the 15th. So in order to complete this bill, oh, there's an airplane. In order to complete this bill, I've already set aside $40 as you see here. So there's two $20 that I had withdrawn from these two paychecks. But now that I actually got the bill, I see that it is a little bit more than what I had originally budgeted for. I think it was like $80 that I originally budgeted for. So it's $2.40 more. So I have to add in that difference on these two paychecks. So $21.20 is what I had to change it to instead of the $20. And then the same thing goes for all of these other bills. I just break it down paycheck to paycheck, so it's not overwhelming for me when I have to pay that particular bill. So if that makes sense to you, if you like how I have this set up, then just know I have this available on my Etsy shop, the single page here, so you can print it out yourself. Everything is linked in the description box down below. So that's how I have everything broken down, and I'm just gonna go right down through and mark off right here what I have listed here on the bill tracker. So let's see if I can, I don't think you guys are gonna see this. It's probably not gonna be in frame, but I will try my best to keep it in line since I am filming this from my phone. So I apologize, guys. So mortgage is the first thing, and that's getting $245.55. The subscriptions, which is my iTunes and Spotify. Spotify is $14.99, iTunes is 99 cents. So I just put it all in one line here because it's all withdrawn on the same day. So $15.98. ID theft is $12.90. What ID theft is, it's a security for my identity and my husband. So it just kind of monitors our credit, our email addresses, anything that could potentially be a hack. We get notified from this, and this is all through Xander Insurance. So it's recommendation from Dave Ramsey. So we went ahead, because it's so inexpensive and it is just an added protection for us, we went ahead and we're just paying that monthly $12 for the both of us. The next thing is internet. We're setting aside $32.99. The water bill, as I mentioned, we had to add an additional $1.20 from what we originally were planning on setting aside for. Our car insurance, $53. Our electric bill, we got that in the mail. The actual amount that we got was $110. So it was actually less than what we expected. I think in the monthly budget for October, we planned, let's see here, $130 is what the budget was for. So that is awesome. So right now we can set aside $27.71 until it is due on the 22nd. My car lease, we're setting aside $66 for that. Groceries, I guess I'll just put it right up here because I use cash for this. This isn't something that I leave in my bank account. So we're taking $75 from this pay for that. And gas, we're budgeting $80 for the both of us. And guys, that's really all that I am going to be setting aside for. Let's see where we're at. The goal is to be at a zero, to give every dollar a job. So the goal is to have a remaining balance of 0. So the lighting just kind of changed, the sun went away. But we're gonna see what all of this adds up to. Okay, so the total expenses line is $555.33. So now this is just saying to take your income, subtract the giving and the expenses. So 683.33 minus 53 minus 555.33. Lo and behold, exactly $75 is what is remaining. So that is what I did my grocery budget for. That is what we are able to take out. So because this pay was so minimal and I was able to transfer from the account that I received all of my Etsy and YouTube money, I transferred in a good portion, which is what this is, so that I can make sure that we do have what we need for our cash envelopes. So this, we're not putting any money towards extra debt. We are also not putting anything towards savings because our pay was a little bit less and our income for this budget was a little bit less. And honestly, in the beginning of the month, that's when all of the bills come out and are due. So a lot of this gets to expenses. So that's kind of where we're at. And this is real life. This is my budget. Sometimes I'm not able to withdraw a whole bunch for different cash envelopes each paycheck because things come up, things happen that you didn't plan for. You may overspend on certain things the prior week, and it gets a little bit difficult. So right now we have all of our priorities in place for this paycheck, and that's really where you want to be at. So $75 is what I'm withdrawing. So it's only a 50, a 20, and a 5 cash denominations that I'm withdrawing from this pay. Now, I have to update my cash envelope. Since it's a new month, I have to go ahead and write up new tracker sheets for my cash envelopes. So I was not able to film and stuff my envelopes from the last pay, which was on the 30th. So it was just a few days ago. So I have that cash from that budget, and I'm going to go ahead and update all of my cash envelopes with you guys. So stick around. One more thing I forgot to mention as I was looking at this, my tithe, I do withdraw the cash for tithe. So I do have to add that in here. $53 is what I actually need. So I withdrew 2 50s, 120, 1 5, and 3 singles. So this is what I brought to the bank. I just wrote this up and they gave me everything I needed. And now this is from the last time. This is what I needed to stuff my cash envelope. So we're gonna go ahead and get to that. Okay, so I have some trackers printed, some blank ones, and I'm gonna go through because I think that there might be, I know my grocery one, I have to put a new tracker in, but I'm just gonna go through and see if there are any trackers that are filled so I can put in a nice fresh tracker. So I'm gonna go ahead and just look through these to see if any of them are completely filled in. I know I haven't used that. Let's see. This one's pretty filled in, so I'm gonna put in a new one there. And so the eating out, we're gonna put in a new one. So the balance on that one does have $4. Okay, put that aside. Gifts is good. Giving, I do not keep a tracker in here since I give this weekly. Groceries, I know needs one, so I'm just gonna, and there's nothing in the grocery envelope here. I don't think Home Fund needs one. Well, I am wrong. That's pretty filled, so I'm gonna put in a new one. There is only $1 in the home fund because we had to get a few things. Let's see how pet looks like. Oh yeah, that needs a new one. And there's nothing in the pet one. Toiletries, let's see where we're at. Well, that one is pretty good. I don't think we need anything there. We need a new one for spending. There's nothing in this spending envelope. Vacation. That one is still okay. And then anniversary, I'm just gonna put in a blank one so that when the time comes for us to start, you know, saving again for our anniversary, we will have a clean tracker for that. So I have that at the end of my envelopes. So that is that for the cash envelopes. And now let's get to organizing the cash so we can go ahead and stuff the cash envelopes from the last time and also from this pay. All right, so I had a note from the last time that I had to withdraw $36 for Christmas to put into the cash envelopes because I wasn't able to stuff those. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get a bunch of questions about, Lizzie, what in the world are you doing? But it all works out, okay? So I am first going to work with this paycheck and then we're gonna see what cash we have left over. So the giving one is what I'm gonna start with, and that is getting $53. Okay, so 50, 1, 2, and 3. That is good. And then groceries is getting the 75. 50, 70, 75. We're gonna go ahead and write in this from this pay, added 75. So we have $75 right now in our grocery envelope. All right, now we have all of this money still left over, but that is from the last paycheck budget that I was not able to stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and do that together. Take that note off. Hopefully you all can see this. Let me just see. Let me put this like that. Organize this a bit. So this was from the last pay of September that I was not able to stuff the cash envelopes for. So we're gonna go walk through this process and hopefully we are good. So I did make a little check mark of the cash that I have already used and I didn't stuff because I didn't have the time. So we are not going to be stuffing the eating out and we are not going to be stuffing the spending since I've already used that money. We went to Halloween Horror Nights when I wrote out this budget. So that's what that's for. So current maintenance is getting this $50. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that in here. And that is from the 30th added. All right. So I hope you guys are following along with how this worked, but I just wanted to get these cash envelopes up to date since I am back. So Christmas, we had set aside $12, so 10, 11, and 12 is what we had budgeted for that pay. So 9, $30. Added Lizzie's pay. $12. So 145 plus 12. There should be 157 in this cash envelope. So we're gonna go ahead and verify if that is true. $157. So there's 1, 20, 40, 150, 5, 6, and 7. Alrighty. All right, the next one was the date night. So we budgeted $20 for that. There's currently nothing in this cash envelope, so we are going to set this money aside. For date night. Another thing that I get questions on all the time is where I get my cash envelopes. Everything that I use is always linked in the description box down below. So I have the Etsy shop that I got these cash envelopes from linked in my description box. It's Budgeting with Ashley's Etsy shop. She is absolutely amazing. She has so many different designs. So yeah, that is where I get my envelopes from. As I mentioned, eating out, we've already taken care of this, so there is nothing to stuff. There's only $4 from the time before that that's in here. Gifts, we are adding $20 into this envelope. So there should be $58 in this envelope right now. So let's see if that is correct. 20, 40, 50, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good. That is verified. Home Fund is getting $5. So we've already stuffed the giving. Groceries. Home Fund is getting $5. So there's currently $6 in the Home Fund. What this is for is like anything for the yard. If we see something that we like for decor, anything, that's what I use the Home Fund for. Pet is getting $10. We've already got our dogs their food, so we used the balance that was in there last time. So I think in like next pay, we will have to buy them food. So Lizzie's pay is getting 20. Oh, I'm sorry, 10. I was looking at the wrong line. $10, not 20. All right. Spending, we are not putting anything towards. Toiletries is getting $5. So there's currently $6 in here. And vacation is getting 30. 20 and 30. Okay. Let me get this organized. Okay. So we're adding $30. So there should be $66 right now in vacation. $20, $40, $50, $55, $60, $65, $66. That is correct. And now this is that remaining funds that I had a post-it note on here. $36 for Christmas is what we have to put back. And let me show you what that was from. So that was from the pay prior, $36. This is really confusing to explain, but because we had used some of our money right here, the 40 and the 50, we did take from some of the cash envelopes to fund that because I wasn't able to go to the bank and do that cash withdrawal. So I borrowed $36 from the envelope that had the money in there, which was this. So I had taken $36 from that paycheck from the Christmas envelope to like fund this eating out one. So that's how all of that worked out. So that's why there's still this money remaining, but I have to put this money back into the Christmas envelope because it did not get stuffed, that paycheck. So as you see here from the tracker, the last time that I had stuffed it in here was on the 19th. So I was like way behind, and I had taken money from here knowing that I was going to go to the bank and withdraw the funds anyways, and to be able to put the money right back to where I took it from. So I kind of borrowed from myself, which isn't the best thing to do. And that, again, I'm sorry if that sounds confusing, but we have to put this money back to from where we took it from, which based on my budget, there was $36, and I made a note to myself from this paycheck. We had set aside $36, so I have to put that money right back into my Christmas envelope. So that's what all of this is. So I'm going to make a note that this is from the 26th paycheck. Added 36, 157 plus 36. I feel like, oh my God, I'm going to get a bunch of like, Lizzie, why did you do that? As long as, hey, I'm actually sticking to the budget, which I am. I just kind of had to backtrack and update a couple of things since I was away, and it was just craziness happening. Craziness. As long as we stick to the budget, I am okay with like kind of backtracking. It does get confusing. I have to be honest. Like this, I was sitting here trying to go over all of my notes and the prior paycheck budgets to see where I was. And then that's when I realized, you know what? I am not going to do that again. That was just craziness. And honestly, that was me being lazy because I didn't want to go back to the bank and do the whole cash withdrawal situation. So let me flip it back to the page. That was interesting. It was hard going back and forth of the different paychecks, but I really hope that this made you realize, you know what, actually sticking to your paycheck budget, it is super helpful when you follow the system and not going the whole back and forth like I was just doing. So lesson learned. Sometimes you have to adjust a few things, and I will not be doing that back and forth again and borrowing from a cash envelope to pay it back. That is just a no-go. But I just wanted to be real with you guys and know that sometimes that stuff happens. You may take from another envelope and say, I'm going to pay it back. It's okay to do that. Like, hey, if you want to go ahead and do that like I did, make a note to yourself to pay that money right back to your envelope, because you're technically borrowing from a future expense, if that makes sense. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and you got to kind of like see true, you know, Lizzie budgeting process. If you did like it, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Leave me any questions. I will try my best to answer your questions on how I do things, why I do things, what is the reasoning behind it. I'm here for you guys. We are here as a community to motivate each other to become financially free. That means to, you know, live with what you have. Live on a budget, but with choices and with freedom. So I really enjoy budgeting, and I hope you guys are inspired to do the same. Well, with that being said, I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye, guys.